It's an overcast day. What a perfect time to check out this solar panel. This is Alphaess SP200, a 200 watt panel. According to the box, it's strong and sturdy, lightweight and portable, and environmentally friendly. Let's hope it's strong and sturdy since it took a beating during shipment. Opening the box reveals some packing material. Here's the actual product. It has a carrying handle, more packing material, and that's it. That's all you get in the box. I don't see anything else, so let's unzipper it and see what's inside. The front has the Alphaess logo, and there's a pouch here, and nothing inside the pouch. Let's unzipper the panel. Zipper only goes part way down on one side, part way down on the other. Then it folds out. This looks like it's probably a leg. Yep. More hoop and loop. And let's see. There are no instructions included with this, so sort of have to figure it out. I think this will slide out. Let me put the camera down and see what we can get. Okay, let's see if this slides out. And we've managed to remove the cover. And that reveals another logo, hoop and loop, and finally we can fold out panels, and there's 2, 3, 4 panels. I'll show you those in a second. Here are the 4 panels, and despite the box getting damaged in shipment, the panel appears to be intact. So this supposedly will generate 200 watts under full sun. I have another unit that's a 100 watt solar panel, and it just has 2 of these panels. So it makes sense that you'd end up with 4, though it's a lot of weight, and of course you have to set this up. So it takes a fair amount of area that you need to catch sun with, and of course you always have to stay in sunlight. To get a better idea of what's included in the kit, you get a slip-on cover that has a hoop and loop pouch on one side. Then you have the actual panels. There are 4 that are folded together. They come with a handle. Then there's a compartment that has Anderson cables. You have a conversion cable, which has a plug on one end. This would go to the unit that you're charging or powering. And then this is just an extension cable with Anderson connectors on it. That connects to here. So the power from the solar panel goes through this module and feeds into your cables. There is only a little LED indicator when it's operating. The printed specifications say 200 watts is the maximum this panel will output. It's rated at 9.8 volts max and a current of 10.1 amps. Then in this little side pocket here, you get 2 different adapters for your output cables in case you need them, depending on what you are plugging them into. And this has 4 kickstands that you use to prop it up at a 45-degree angle to the sun. And there is indeed a manual. And if you register, you can extend the warranty for an extra 12 months. With no indication which part of the kickstand is up or down, I mark the bottom so that way I know just to pull here when I need the kickstand out. When deployed, this is what the unit looks like. Each panel measures 27 by 20. When unfolded and extended, you're out to 81 inches, which is just over 6 feet and 9 inches of panel. On the back side of the unit, you can see the 4 kickstands, and at the very end, you can see where the cables come out. Not a fan of the kickstands. I find them flimsy. They can only be set at one angle, and they don't provide a lot of support. And the sun isn't always at 45 degrees, which can create issues. In a windy day, this collection of panels can act as a sail, so they can get blown over. Though they do provide you some tabs so that you can tie this down and hopefully it won't fall over. Now, one interesting thing to note is that in the manual it says not to use water to clean the panels, to only use a damp cloth, which begs the question, can these get wet if they're outside? After contacting Alphaess, they informed me that the unit is IP65 water resistant, not waterproof. Therefore, you can wash down the panels with water, like a wet towel, but you cannot submerge the units, and they don't want you getting the units wet. So, can they get rained on? Yes, they can get rained on, but not for a long time. You don't want them getting soaked. So, they're water resistant, not waterproof. In the real world of solar panels, every day isn't sunny and warm, and today's no exception. So what I'm going to do today is I have our 4 panels out, then I have my 2 panel out, and we're going to plug it into this unit here, which will show us the input power from each of the panels. So right now we're getting 18 watts of power from the 4 solar panels. So in theory, if I substitute 2 panels, I should get like 9 watts. But as you can see, things aren't always that simple when it comes to solar panels. Our 2-panel system is only outputting 2 watts. In fairness to the other unit, these panels are only 20 by 17, much smaller than what we have over here. After a little bit, it did come up to 4 watts, but still a far cry from the 16 plus watts that we're getting off of 4 panels. So if you're looking to charge things rapidly, even on overcast days, it pays to have just more panels. With continued overcast skies, our 4 panels are squeaking along, outputting 9 watts of power. So to fill up this unit, which is at 88% capacity, to full is going to take about 11 hours. This is 666 watt hours capability. So if you have a whole week of overcast and you didn't have a fully charged unit, you'd probably run out of juice. Obviously, this would extend your runtime, but not by all that much, because with overcast days, you're only going to be getting about 14 to 9 watts. And, you know, you have sunrise, sunset, so that depletes. And depending on the time of year, you may have even less light. This is currently December, so we have minimal sunlight that's working for us. So just know that there's a lot of marketing hype of what you can do with solar panels, and those are actually more like lab conditions than real world conditions. When this battery unit is plugged into a wall receptacle, it can charge at 87 watts. So conceivably, a 200 watt panel would have no trouble maintaining this battery unit if it could actually output that power level on a consistent basis. We finally got a clear, sunny day. So we set up our panels the same way as before to see what kind of measurement we get with direct sunlight. With the 200 watt panel plugged in, we see that we are getting 87 watts. Now we switch out to the 100 watt panel and we get a reading of 31 watts. Now if you aim the smaller panel towards the sun and adjust the angle so it's receiving the most amount of light, we can achieve 51 watt output from this solar panel by simply aiming it to the sun. And that's done by aiming towards the sun and then adjusting the angle so that the sun rays are striking the panel perpendicular. Nothing is built into the panel that helps you aim it, but you can build something like this. I have a simple block of wood with a spike coming out of it, and this spike is perpendicular to the surface of the wood. And if I lay it on the panel, it casts a shadow. And all I'm trying to do is minimize that shadow by moving the solar panel until the shadow disappears. And that tells me that I'm aimed exactly at the sun. Aiming 4 panels directly at the sun is a little tougher, but it's doable. Despite aiming our panels towards the sun, we're only getting 89 watts of energy. And that's due to a couple of things. One, it's December, so the sun is low in the sky, so it's providing less energy. And 200 watts is the maximum that this panel can generate, but that's under lab conditions, and we're not in a lab. And don't forget, as the path of the sun changes across the sky, you'll need to readjust your panels to keep it aimed directly at the sun. After using the Alphaess for a couple days, things I like, things I don't like. I obviously don't like these legs. The kickstands are just flimsy plastic, but I get why they use them. Even my smaller unit does the same thing. They're light in weight, they're easy to fold up, and with 4 panels, we're looking at about 17 pounds. It's a little hard to move this thing around and get it so that it's properly aimed towards the sun. If it were a windy day, I'd have some doubts about tying down to this, because I think this is just something that's bound to fail. A better option would be metal eyelets that can bear the weight and stress. I do like that the Anderson connectors include an extension and several adapters so that it can mate with your storage device. Unfortunately, if you're looking to recharge your USB devices, like your cell phone, you can't do that with this panel. Some other panels, like my 100-watt panel, actually offers a USB output. This one does not. So in this case, you may either opt for a smaller panel or something like this power bank solar panel, which will recharge your cell phone or tablet and has some solar recharging capability. The panel comes with a fair amount of hoop and loop, which makes folding up the case and securing it fairly easy. The included sleeve provides a pocket, but I find it difficult to remove and insert the panels into, and I think overall it doesn't offer much protection. There's no padding here, and therefore I think most people are just going to toss that aside. The advantage to this kit is that it has 4 large solar panels, so you can convert a lot of sun energy to electricity. If I have any real big concern with this unit is the fact that it's just IP65, which makes it water resistant. Obviously, this is something you're going to put outside and you can't control the weather. So even on an overcast day, you can still draw some energy out of the unit, but they really don't want you soaking it in the rain. In regards to the panel's rated output capacity, we were only able to achieve 44%. I would imagine in the summertime, that would be a higher number, though I doubt you'll ever reach 100% of any panel's rated capacity. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.